Hello, ladies and gentlemen. This is Controversial Sitcoms, the place where we discuss some controversial topics. And I know you guys see me with a robe in it's Libertine, so I decided to put on a monologue, discuss some trending, most important controversial topic right now in the United States of America: abortion rights, the woman's body, womanhood, the laws and the Supreme Court. We just had a couple of days ago, actually less than less than 78 hours, and the Supreme Court overturned a very very solid foundation of abortion rights. And when we're looking at abortion rights, we're looking at pro-choice, we're looking at those that are against it, and that is very, very, it's a pertinent issues of reproductive health: the right to legal or safe abortion, the right to birth control, the right to reproductive health care. Now, I would like to let you guys know, because most times what this channel is about is putting an opinion on certain controversial topics, and this opinion as simple facts or to enable you to look at certain topics from a different perspective. When did this all run and wind started? We'll look into that. It's a monologue which I'll be giving today. Mind you, the first country or the first institution or person that allowed abortion right as a country or nation as a whole. In 1920, Vladimir Lenin was the head of the government of Soviet Russia from 1917 to 1924. Legalized abortion on request, which became or becoming the first country to do so. It was first introduced in the Russia SFSR and then the rest of the country in 1922. So, looking at all this perspective or the movement as it is today, the first country or major breakthrough for abortion rights, womanhood, woman rights, was in Russia in 1920. You can do the research yourself. Now, back to United States of America. Roe versus Wade, that is a controversial or the backbone or background on which this movement, abortion right, womanhood, woman rights, woman's body, is built on, which has some controversial issue a couple of days ago, whereby the Supreme Court had to, you might say, intervene, you might say it's contradictory what they did, you might say it's political. I mean, that's your decision to make or review in that aspect. What is Roe versus Wade? Roe versus Wade, these are two persons that were involved in a historic national legal issue which was regarding this abortion. Now, Wayne refers to Henry Wayne, who was the DA of Dallas at the time, and Jane Roe is a pseudonym, or her actual name is Norma McCorvey. I hope I pronounced that properly. And it is noted, it's a documented information, that she was pregnant in 1969, which actually was her third child, and wanted abortion. But because she was living in Dallas at the time, which didn't allow abortion, which was illegal at the time in Dallas in 1969, she eventually took Dallas to the Supreme Court to have this issue analyzed or looked into before the Supreme Court justice, to discuss this abortion right in all concept. Now, first of all, what we're looking at, what is abortion? Abortion is a safe way and legal way of ending a pregnancy, which is conceiving. Some people will want to define it that it's not the essence of life because the fetus or the baby is not yet developed. That's not my jurisdiction to define what a pregnancy it is or what abortion is. And the questions a lot of people would want to know from me is it right or wrong? From my own perspective, I basically answer those questions in a way that I think is appropriate. Now, have you ever seen a place where a man attempted suicide, then at the end of the day, he's arrested for attempted suicide? Any laws, legal obligations, any bylaws, policies that this man will should be arrested for attempting such? There is none. There's no laws. But if there is, please leave it in the comment below and educate me a little bit. But the reason why it is like that, because another aspect, have you ever seen a person set his or herself on fire? At the end of the whole situation, he's been arrested, sent to jail for attempting to set his or herself on fire. If there's any, please leave in the comments below and let me know. But I do believe that I've tried to figure this out, but I don't see any. The reason being that it's your body. Whatever you do with it, it's up to you. It doesn't really conform to my own having an issue, having a headache over what you do with your body. But in also that regard, if that person attempts to set someone else on fire, there's legal obligations. There are laws and bylaws, there are policies, there are rights. Because why you are interrupting or intruding into another person's privilege to life, rights to peaceful existence. That being said, is abortion right? Is it illegal? Is it wrong? I'm not here to define that for you. You can sort that out for yourself. But I do believe that everybody has a right to their own happiness, positive happiness. If the happiness is based on the reflection of you understanding what is basic for you, then that's fine. Back to what we have, the discourse, the monologue. What is currently happening? The abortion right, woman right. There's a lot of topics going on, a lot of movement going on. It's a woman's body, it's a woman right. It's a woman's business, and it's the woman's tendencies and situations, and it's the woman's thing to do. But if you look at it from another perspective, let's get this clear. I don't have an issue about what you do with the abortion or what you do with the pregnancy. That's not my prerogative. I've tried to discuss this issue with a couple of people. There's another aspect of it that's been left out, which is the man involved in this situation. Because no pregnancy occurs on its own. There's never been a woman that just got pregnant without a man. I don't understand this, the woman's body, but that's fine. But the woman cannot procreate on her own. I'm not saying that the woman doesn't have a right to determine what she does with that pregnancy, but I'm saying that some substantial aspect of it is being left out, which is the man involved, because there are two people that get in this situation, intercourse or procreational act, if you may, that involve this conception, and there we have a baby. The chromosome comes from two people, a male and a female. So why is the discourse we are neglecting the man involved? Is it that we're saying that if this abortion does occur, it doesn't have a psychological effect on the man? It has no tendency of affecting the man. The man does not operate in the normal human ratio of thinking, PTSD, psychological effect, or mental instability, or life? Or do we think that the man is just a robotic structure that have no emotions? There are people that have had these issues and it affects their life as a man. Because you don't know if that man has been trying to have a baby for years. Probably medically, they've told him that he can't have a baby. There's no way he can procreate. Then miraculously, something happens. Then all of a sudden, the man is not involved in that decision making. And that does not affect the man psychologically. Back again, I'm speaking on a default perspective. Default meaning that in respect to the pregnancy involved, there's no medical situation affecting the baby involved, or whatever you want to call it, the blood. Some people say it's not a baby yet, so it cannot be considered as life. But it's the process. Whether you like it or not, life starts. It's the process. This process, phase 1, phase 2, phase 3, phase 4. It's the process. It can be at the beginning, the middle, or in the end. But it's a process. A teenager cannot be an adult overnight. So it's a process. So you cannot say because the teenager is not yet an adult, that means the teenager is insignificant in respect to adulthood. It's a process. All have to be considered. However, that's not my obligation. I don't have the moral authorization or moral standpoint to decide to you what is right or wrong. That's your own jurisdiction. That's your own obligation. But now, back to the Supreme Court. Is it right what they did? Is this something that is political? I don't know. But I think my opinion is certain people involved in this is just being selfish. Why is there's so much focus on abortion right from one angle rather than focusing on contraception, Planned Parenthood? I'm not saying that it's not. It's there. But the focus on abortion and termination has more momentum than the aspect of providing information regarding contraception so that the pregnancy will not occur, so that we won't be having this discourse on abortion. You and I understand that currently in the American situation, down to the rural area, the information on abortion is widespread. But it's not like that in terms of Planned Parenthood contraception. So how about we try to plan that this doesn't occur? But that's not my jurisdiction. It's just the controversial topic that I'm trying to put out there. Is this a work of the Republican? What are the Democrats doing about it? Democrats tend to be the ones that are putting the memento, trying to make sure that the woman right is sustained. But the Democrats have had multiple chances to make this into concrete laws. Joe Biden got into the presidency, and the Democrat had the House of Representatives and the Senate. There are a lot of things that could have been done. But all we know is talk and talk and talk. Is this an aspect of the Republican trying to put in their agenda? But if it is, this probably will cost them the midterm election. Because prior to what just happened, all momentum was towards the Republican having a landslide in the coming elections due to the situation of the country, the economy, and a lot of things happening. But right now, it's a different ball game. It's a different perspective. That's what we're looking at. That's the attentions that we are trying to focus on what we are doing. People are there fighting, killing themselves, rioting, and people are there having issues that does not conform without even understanding what this is all about. A lot of people that are there rioting, if you ask them what is the wrong word, what do they understand by it? They don't understand nothing. If you ask them this whole situation about this, what do you understand? They don't understand nothing, but they just want to cause chaos. I think it's a reflective moment for America. I think we have the ability to think for us to understand what we want. I'm not against woman's right. I'm not against woman having the ability to decide for her body. But my perspective on this whole abortion thing, I think the man should be considered if in any way it's been approved as a legal situation, or however you want to call it, because the man has been left out. And now you guys want us men to come fight, because I see a lot of celebrating calling on the men. It's a man's fight, it's a man's fight. And people saying that, oh, we're not going to give you cushy tonight because it's a man's fight. Did you consider the man in the first place when you said it was the woman was the sole person to make the decision regarding this abortion topic? Even when the man is part of it, because no woman can procreate on her own. That's not my jurisdiction to talk about. It's just something that you should ponder about. I've been having a nice discussion with a fellow colleague later on in the week. This is just a monologue to discuss or just a preview of what is coming in terms of the next interview. Guys, stay safe. There are certain things, to me, I feel, what is my opinion regarding it? I think there's more pressing issue in America than the Supreme Court focusing on this, and the best thing that the Supreme Court think that they can do in the month of June is, this. There are other pressing issues and other things that are more important. Guys, think. It's very simple analogy. All right. See you soon.